Hey, oh my God, it has been entirely too long since we have last connected. So, y'all know we got a lot to talk about. Come on, get comfortable. As Heather Dubrow says, everyone come sit down. This is going to be so fun. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time that I'm live here on Hurrdat's YouTube. We're going to be talking today about, I just got back from being with the OG, literally just hopped off a plane like an hour ago, came straight here to do this live. The Married to Medicine season 12 trailer is here. We're going to talk about that and a switch in the casting. We're also going to talk about Wife Swap. We got the premiere. We're going to talk all about that and why I think it was so good. We're also going to talk, just about Meredith Marks. We're going to give her flowers. Okay. We're going to interrupt her daily bath to just give her some flowers. Okay. And then if we have enough time, we are going to get to the comment. Can you call it a comment? I guess if it's a tweet that someone made, we're going to get to the tweet that Tamra released talking about someone's breath at a reunion in years past. So, Yasmin, hi! It's so good to see you, and hear from you. Thank you for being with me. I'm sorry that our live schedule was a little wonky this week. Now, y'all know every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, you will find me right here talking about all the Bravo and Housewives things. But I left over the weekend. I left Saturday to go see Vicky. We had interviews to do. We had a couple meetings to do. So I saw her Monday and Tuesday and flew out. I was on a flight at 6 o'clock this morning out of LA. So Vicky and I had a wonderful trip. We got 4 episodes done yesterday. We've talked with Taylor Armstrong. We talked with Gina Keogh. We did an episode from Kodo Insurance, which is live now. That was so much fun. We did it in her conference room. And then we did another episode that will come out probably next week or the week after. And it's just Vicky and I asking each other like tons of random questions. It's a lot of fun. So really thankful that I got some good time with her. We were talking about BravoCon. Who here is going to BravoCon? Y'all, we're a few weeks away. I'm like seeing people talk about their outfits and stuff online. And I'm like, have I even booked a flight? Like, I need to get with it, So if you are going to BravoCon, hopefully you're not like me. Hopefully you are being proactive and productive and not being a procrastinator like yours truly. Okay. So let's get started. When I was landing today, hi Miriam, good to see you. I was, going through my phone and just kind of catch up and see what the haps was. And I'm like talking to some friends, and you have those friends that anytime there's like Housewives news or Bravo news or any friend that you share like have a common interest over a celebrity with, anytime there's news, you send it to each other, right? So imagine my confusion when I am chit chatting. I've hit a couple group chats. I'm caught up. I'm caught up for the most part. And then I get on Instagram and I'm scrolling through stories, and I believe it was TV by Pop, the production company, reshared a post of Bravo sharing the Married to Medicine season 12 trailer. And I said, this can't be like the trailer because nobody in the chats, in the text is mentioning it. No one on Twitter was mentioning it. I only saw it because the production company reposted it. And sure as shit, I go to the comments, and it had been up for like 2 hours and there weren't many comments. My friends weren't mentioning it. I literally hit everyone up. I was like, why did no one tell me about the Married to Medicine trailer? Like, I know that I didn't inform everyone that I was 30,000 feet in the air, but we don't have many responsibilities in this friend group. Sharing trailer news when it drops is that's one of them. Okay. And I looked at the comments, and I don't know if maybe the reason I expected there to be more talk about it. Number one, because Married to Medicine is one of the best shows on Bravo. And if you don't watch it, you're absolutely missing out. This is their 12th season. You don't get 12 seasons and not have content, baby. But the crazy thing is if you see the cast photo for season 12, y'all, Heavenly's not in it. And Heavenly is in the trailer, but if someone isn't in the cast photo, that means that they're not a full time. There'll be a friend, a guest. And so it's looking like our girl, Dr. Heavenly, got a demotion. And then back to me being disappointed, and those who didn't share this news with me, then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go And I'm going to, have fellowship with the people that do care, the people that are in the comments, the people that are excited like me. And then I go to the comments and I want you to know that every single comment was like, yes, Heavenly's demoted. Yes, that's what she deserves. If Heavenly's not back or Heavenly is, demoted, then that is a good thing. And I was like, I have no one. I am literally alone on Scary Island without friends and without Dr. Heavenly. My friends aren't talking about it, my regular Bravo girlies. And then I'm not aligning with the comments, because why are we celebrating? I know that Dr. Heavenly might not be everyone's favorite person, but she is absolutely a core member of the ensemble that is this show. See, Charlie says, good. I don't care anything about Dr. Heavenly. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that found her to be. I mean, they always say everyone's replaceable, but Married to Medicine, like I said, they've been on 12 years, and it's a really solid group of women and their friendships, and even amongst the husbands, there's closeness. And I don't know. I'm curious from a production standpoint where that came from. Was that a decision made going into the season? Like sometimes they'll make the decision to give someone a lesser role before like filming even starts. Or was this something they decided later on because maybe the content wasn't giving? I really don't know. Maybe she couldn't commit time-wise because she is like literally running for public office. So I don't know, but I was shocked, number one, to see it. And number two, to see that apparently I'm the only one that's not celebrating it. And I don't like being left out, but I'm not celebrating this, okay? But y'all know I'm weird about like when longtime like cast members and like, veterans of these, programs, when their place is shifted. I just, it's weird to me. I hated it with Vicky. I hate it I don't even like it with, maybe if there's housewives that I don't necessarily like enjoy that much, but if they've been on the show a long time, like it does kind of suck whenever there's a demotion or a change. It's like, damn, like I feel bad for them. Like I know that has to suck. So curious to know how Heavenly feels about it. I hope she's okay with it. But at the end of the day, one thing is true, and that is Married to Medicine, like I said, is one of the best shows on Bravo. So I have no doubt that it's going to be a stellar season, and I'm going to need my group chats and Bravo girlies to get a little more hype about it, and I'm gonna need the comment section on the other end on social. Let's be nicer, Let's see. Let's talk, y'all, about Wife Swap. Who here watched Wife Swap? Now, I told y'all I've been with Vicky for the last like 2 or 3 days. I did my best to try and keep up with my shows, our shows, while I was traveling, and I just am here to admit that I could not have done a worse job. I could not have done a worse job. You might as well have given me a room that you could only see by candlelight, because the only time I had on the lights was whenever I went potty, and then it was right back to bed. Whenever I hit that room every night, comatose. So I'm catching up. I told y'all I got here like literally an hour ago. As I'm getting home and changing and showering, I am also watching Wife Swap in the background because I didn't get to watch Housewives of Salt Lake City, but yes, that is the core program. But I'm excited about this. I love when Bravo takes, I guess, a risk, or, goes out and tries something new. And I wanted to check it out. Also, I knew that it started with Angie, and I love me some Angie K. So yeah, let me know. Did you watch it? I just finished episode 1. I think that Bravo is really onto something here. I kind of think that, I hope that if the remaining 3 episodes, because let's talk about this really quick. Now, Dr. Wendy was set to be the series premiere. She was supposed to be episode 1, right, y'all? And then clink, clink, unfortunately. That was, we all know what happened. And then it came out that her episode had been scrapped, that they weren't going to air it. Well, then while I was gone, it came out again that her episode will air. I guess they're just airing it a different day. So I'm like, was that a network decision? Like, did they kind of retract that? Like, okay, no, we will air it, or did they do themselves and Wendy a disservice from the beginning and just misspeak? And they should have said, we're going to reschedule her date. Because to me, it made it seem like they weren't going to air it at all. But I'm glad that they will. I'm glad that they will, because like these, the families too that Wendy was partnered with, they went out and did something that was new for them. So it's only fair that it gets to be aired, I think. And but like I said, I think Bravo's onto something here. If the remaining 3 episodes do go the way that I feel episode 1 did, I think they should capitalize on this energy. I think they should be already planning who the next 4 are, do the next 8. I think they should do 4, 6, at maybe more than 4 at a time, and because each episode will be, each woman has their own episode. So give us like a 6-8 week thing, and I think that, yeah, like I said, they're onto something here. I really am loving and completely encourage delving into that world of production where they kind of break the fourth wall and mix and mingle, these personalities that we've come to know and love over the years. Ultimate Girls Trip to me is what happened with Ultimate Girls Trip in the Carolina of it all, like, is the biggest loss that Bravo has suffered probably ever, because I think that program and that format would have breathed a whole new kind of life into the franchise in a way, in a sense, because so many veteran members and people that we haven't seen in years are now really given an opportunity to come and work for just 2 weeks and get their foot back in, the pop culture realm of it all, and be in the mix, and then they're out. And it's just kind of, and then it's great for their old programs too. It's great marketing, because it's like, oh my God, if I turn on and see Lynn Curtin on Ultimate Girls Trip, it's like, I missed that bitch. Let me go watch seasons 4 and 5 of OC. I mean, it's a great way to kind of constantly promote their, old programming and some of the, the talent from those years, while also integrating them into new stuff. So I love the idea of this. I think they should keep going with it. I think that before the episodes even wrap up, they should go ahead and announce that the new series or the new, set of wives for next season is filming. I think that's what they should do. I want to know where they're going. I think they should get a mix of current cast members, like current housewives and housewives of the past. Like, I want to see I want to see Danielle Staub go to Little Rock. I don't know where that came from, but I just think that content would be excellent. How could it not be? I mean, I think that things like Wife Swap and Ultimate Girls Trip, like, literally, do y'all remember the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie? I think it was Our Lips Are Sealed, where they had to go in the witness protection program, and they like literally threw a dart at a map, and I think that's where they moved, right? Well, that's kind of the energy that I need with casting when it comes to Wife Swap and Ultimate Girls Trips, okay? We got a plethora of women. We got a proven track record of when the cameras are on and the mic packs are hooked up, iconicness is going to happen, okay? So it's a safe bet to me. Pull names out of a hat. Like, I think, like, literally on Watch What Happens Live, Andy should be like, okay, Ultimate Girls Trip, season 8, we are going to Cape Town, and here are the women that are invited. Like, pull it out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I think that content like this and programs like this are really allow them to do that, to just kind of rely on the talent they already have. I mean, you gotta think they're shooting 1 episode. So do they get 1 episode fee? It's not like they're getting a ton of money for this. They're gone for 2 or 3 days. So I love it. I think that that's what we should do. We should start having new Wife Swaps and new Ultimate Girls Trips on the reg. And the casting method is draw out of a hat. Tune in this Sunday to see who's going on the next Ultimate Girls trip, you know? And then like you now you got the housewives at home. You got the girlies that have ran as hard and fast as they could to the phone every time it has rang in the past 10 years, hoping that it is Andy, right? You got them sitting at home on the edge of their seat, like, pick me, pull my name out of that hat. It's like the lottery, you know? So that's what I think. I think that that's what they should do is lean into that as much as they can. And I think that you should go watch Wife Swap if you haven't yet. I don't know who is next week. Is Melissa next week? Maybe. Because I don't remember catching a little sneak peek or, the preview for the following episode. But I'm sure I look forward to seeing Dr. Wendy's episode. I really do. But I will say watching Angie's and just how Angie has become this, she's like the new, what do they call that? Like the star child or something like that. I don't know. Of Bravo, where she's, really kind of blown up to like, being loved by the whole fan base in the last just 2 years or so. And to me, it kind of was surprising now seeing how good the episode was that they didn't plan to lead with her in the beginning. So maybe that should lead us to believe that Wendy's episode is even better. So we'll see, Oh my God. Also, Shawn, Angie's husband, he's funny. I like a man that's funny. And maybe this ain't funny. In the words of Teresa, to me, it's funny. Ha ha. Whenever they get the little swap started, and Angie's gone, and I forget the sweet lady who's living in her house, in Angie's house. She's coming in, she's exploring. They let her have her time to look around. And then she meets Shawn and Electra. And I guess Shawn's giving his first impressions of her. And he's like, she's definitely a very Granola outdoors vibe. I'm like, why was it outdoors maybe the first word over granola? I was like, where is he going with this? However, it was the perfect description, like, I mean, if I don't have running water at my house, like this lady and her family, they live off the grid, granola would probably be a regular. Off the grid, granola. That's what I'm going to be living off of because, oh my God, they're out here talking about how they go and like catch all their own meat and stuff. And like mad respect to people that can do that. But for the love of God, like I feel like you got to pick a struggle at some point. We can't have no running water, not a flushing toilet, and we're out here chasing down our dinner like the vampires in Twilight. You know what I'm saying? Like in the woods. We can't be doing all that. It's one or the other. Either have me out here sprinting and running for my life or let me take a hot shower when I get home. Or better yet, just let me stay at Angie's house and not leave. But yeah, and it's really interesting, to watch. I think you kind of, we really see the intention of this show really come through very clearly as Angie, she's talking with the husband that she's been matched with. And of course, it's very easy as I'm sitting here, watching and talking, and I'm making jokes about the no running water and, growing and supplying all your own food and living off the grid. And, but it really is, when she sat down and talked to him and asked what was the pivotal moment in life that, kind of, inspired this decision, it was a health decision for his wife, and it's like, yeah, we can, of course, there's the immediate shock factor of a housewife rolling up to a home in the middle of nowhere with no running water and all this stuff. But whenever she had that conversation with him, I was like, now I see why this show could be special, is because there's really going to be lessons taught, like it was a beautiful thing that his wife had a health issue that they believed was very, very much rooted in diet or would require her to change her diet. And not, I mean, talk about showing up to support your partner. Like they completely changed their lives, their kids' lives, the lifestyle, like as a whole. And so it was just really nice to watch Angie kind of have that moment of realization. And, you know, at the end of the day, we all love a good read, but I guess we can all go home with a little bit, a little nugget of wisdom at times. Kyle, I'll call you back in a second. That's one of my housewives Bravo girlies that I'm disappointed in. You're calling now. Where was the call when the Married to Medicine trailer came out? Where was the call when the Married to Medicine cast photo came out without a Dr. Heavenly in it? I was on a plane. I couldn't have answered, but I would have known you called. Something else I want to talk about. Let's give Meredith Marks her flowers, okay? She is just, I'm sorry, she's kind of killing the game. And yes, I know that maybe in this season of Salt Lake City of it all, she's, look, Meredith ain't, breaking a sweat unless she has to. And you talk about respect, okay? But what she is doing, she's killing the game. Like she's got housewives under her belt. She's very much, a recognizable figure in that space, in the reality television space. The opportunities are clearly now being extended to her family. We have Brooks on Next Gen. I feel like that's going to be happening for quite some time, and Meredith also I know whenever she started the DJ stuff, again, I always make my jokes and I'll have my laughs, but don't get it twisted. I'm ready to empty this bank account to go to the Naughty and Ice tour. Okay. It's just about finding a date that also aligns with the show that's not sold out, because she's killing it so much. All these shows are selling out. She's having fun. She's collecting that Bravo check. And then on top of that, she has her Caviar or whatever. How about I'm scrolling Instagram and she's done a little collab with Martha Stewart? Now, they weren't in the same video or maybe even in the same state, but Martha's account posted it. And it was Meredith going over there and I guess making a caviar baked potato the Martha way, but using Meredith's caviar, right? So I just want to say, I love when a housewife's killing it. Like I often think too about how it's such a different game, like when, even think about Vicky and Tamra and then back in seasons 4, 5, and 6, like they were riding the highest of waves, but like the social media and like sponsorship opportunities necessarily weren't what they are today, where it's like you open your email and there's an opportunity for thousands of dollars to do this and this and this, And so it's just nice to see housewives not only, I think, leaning into it and taking advantage of it, but doing it in a way that makes sense. And I mean, Meredith's just, I'm sorry. Maybe y'all are like, what the hell is Christian talking about right now? I just wanted to give Meredith her flowers. Okay. And yeah. And we're going to wrap up with talking about the fact. So apparently the other day on Two Teas in a Pod, I think Tamra had talked about doing a reunion in the past where she had a neighbor next to her on the couch that had bad breath or something. And I didn't hear it, but there were tweets about it. And then so obviously everybody starts pulling all the photos from all the years past about who she was sitting next to. And I then later saw a tweet, I think it was Queens of Bravo, like retweeted it or something, maybe. But it was Tamra replying to someone talking about it. And she sent a picture of her and Shannon at a reunion. I think it was the last reunion. And I'm just like, I feel like we went decades almost without there being like a bad breath conversation on Housewives, other than maybe a little like joke here and there, like whenever who was it Dorit that told Lisa Brenna her breath, if I can smell your breath, you're too close. That's what she said. But like now we've had the Stacy breath thing and this all in like a week or two. I'm just like, is that getting ready to start becoming a thing? Are we going to be like, because we don't have smell-o-vision over here, y'all. Like as much as I love the full description of really trying to get us in there, I don't necessarily know that we need to be talking about if someone smells lovely or not, and especially making it a big point of conversation because the breath thing is just kind of weird. Like I do feel bad for Stacy over like on Potomac when they're talking about her breath, because I thought that that was kind of, I don't know. I feel like when you're talking about something like that, even if you're like making a joke, you have to be so careful in the way you do it because it can very easily sound mean, you know? Like, I'm sorry. Love you, Stacy. But you are, if I was Stacy and I had these women out here saying that stuff about me, I'd be like, Bravo, you're gonna have to take it up with them because now I'm not going to BravoCon. What I'm gonna do, get up there and talk to everybody and say hi whenever they were out here accusing me of, having hot breath or whatever. No, I'm not going to go up in a public situation and introduce myself and think that they're just going to be out here continuing to talk about it with everybody. No. So good for you, Stacy. Also, did y'all see that it came out that Stacy is in fact divorced? So either Stacy just does a real good job of looking like her story is messy on TV, even though it's not, or these women are really they're not doing a good job of trying to dig up dirt, because it's like TMZ literally, they were like, we can prove it that she's divorced, and can I just be honest? Let's say that there's a world where Stacy did divorce her man, or they faked a divorce so that then she could have another guy over here and date him and break up with him as her entry season to Housewives. And then her storyline is ultimately getting back with the love of her life and the father of her daughter. You produced a whole story arc. Good for you. In some cases, I would not be okay with that. In this case, if that were the truth, if it is the truth, I think she's doing a fantastic job, and I'm seated to watch the whole story play out. Okay. All right. Let me go back and look at y'all's comments really quick before we wrap up. Oh my gosh. Oh, so many. Hi. Awesome. Live, but I'm entering an elevator. That's Seattle life. Eliza, switch with me. Switch with me. I would move back to Seattle tomorrow. If I could afford it. Yes, but that is my dream, is to be back in Seattle. I love it so much there. Charlie, I just watched and loved it. I'm assuming you're probably talking about Wife Swap or the Married to Medicine trailer. Either one, both were good, and I can't wait for more. Miriam, Dr. Heavenly's husband got exposed for cheating. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Dr. Damon Daddy would never. But considering I didn't even know the trailer was out till 4 weeks later, this could already have been discussed and been a one-on-one sit down with Andy, and here I am just finding out. So if that is the case, apologies. But no, let's not even speak that into existence. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. No. Let's see. Yasmin, happy autumn, everyone. Yes, when I landed in Charlotte today, because I always travel cozy, so I had on like a hoodie and sweats, and sometimes, like, while that's lovely, sometimes it's brutal when you walk out of the airport whenever you land, because it's like, oh my God, it's 800 degrees and I'm waiting for an Uber and, moving my luggage. I walked out today, baby. It was crisp, beautiful. I said, might need a pair of gloves, Let's see. In the letter box said the Wife Swap made her love Angie. Well, welcome to the winning team. We might have to talk about what took you so long to get here, but I'm glad that you're here. Angie is fabulous. I really think Angie should be like the inspiration for future casting for all housewives, I think. I have a best friend who would disagree with that, but he's probably not watching right now because he knows that we would end up fighting about it. So let's see. I can't wait to see Joe and Melissa's episode. They're my favorite couple. Well, I love that for you, Charlie. I'll watch it too. I'll watch it. I'll watch and support. I want to support the new show. Let's see. I love Angie, Whitney, Bronwyn. The others, not so much. Tracy, hello, tuning in late. I will go back and rewatch Love Angie on Wife Swap. Yes, me too. I'm going to go back and rewatch Wife Swap again because like I told you, I watched it kind of in a hurry because I wanted to make sure I could see it before I got on to talk with y'all. But I want to go back and watch it again, and I'm going to watch Salt Lake. And yeah, oh my God. And isn't this our first Thursday without Miami? I just got sick Well, we're going to get through this together. Okay. We'll still have plenty to talk about on Friday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like I said, you'll get notified when I'm live. But yeah, schedule is back on. I will be here Friday at 3 p.m. And yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you are planning your BravoCon outfits, send me some inspiration. I need some help. And let me know if I'll be seeing you there. I can't wait to chat. All right. Love y'all and see you next time. Besos.